So last thing in 1.5, there's only one other thing we've got to get to, is they call it average rate of change. And all that is basically that's slope using functions. So the biggest difference on this one is, instead of it being y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, they're going to show you this, that basically you're going to do f of x1 minus f of x2 over x1 minus x2. And again, they may show you f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. That's probably the one that you'll see more of. But again, if you want to put the first thing first and second thing second, here's the biggest thing on this one that you have to do. That back in section 4, when we were doing slope, or maybe section 3, whichever section was there, they always gave you the two ordered pairs. On this one, you have to find what the f of x is and then plug it back into the formula. So before, everything was always given to you. In this case, now you've got to actually evaluate what f of x1 and f of x2 are going to be. All right, so here we go. I'll give you a couple of these. So they'll give you the function, and then they'll tell you, here's the two x values you're going to use. So x1 is going to be 3, and then x2 will say 5. Okay, so you've got half of they give you the x values, they don't give you the y values, is really what it comes down to. Because when we're doing this part back up here with the functions, you can, when you're doing f of x, you can basically remember that that's the y values. So that's f of x1 is really y1, f of x2 is really y2. So all they're doing on this part is they're just not giving you the y values. You've got to go back and figure out what those are going to be. So first thing you're going to do is go back in and figure out what f of x1 is, which in this case is f of 3. So that would be 3 squared plus 5 times 3. 9 plus 15, so that'd be 24. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing, but this time we'll do f of 5. So that's 5 squared plus 5 times 5. Get you 50. Okay, so that's your two different values, that this f of 3 is really, that's your f of x1, because that was the x1 value that we had. The 50, which is also going to be the f of x2. And once you've got those evaluated, now you're just going to go back and plug those back into the formula. And again, I'm going to go with the x1s first just because I'm used to doing x1s first. So for this part, we're going to do f of x1, which is 24, minus the f of x2, which is 50, over x1 minus x2. Okay, 24 minus 50 is a negative 26. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So dividing those two out, so 13 should be your final answer that you're going for there. Okay, so it's still slope, it's just you've got to go back in and work it out first. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You've got to figure out what the y values would be. That you're going to be giving your x values on the bottom. You've got to figure out what your y values are going to be when you go to the top there. Okay, and that's the last thing of section 5. I know it wasn't a lot there, and we were trying to squeeze it in last time. Just ran out of time there. You want to do one more, or is that one good? Pretty good? One more? We're good?